Hi, my name is Liviana, and I'm actually genuinely sorry this time. It isn't a haha funny moment. I have been, throughout the small time I've been on YouTube, I've been neglecting to share African culture, which is what mythology is about. It's a culture, it's the history of a people, and I have been neglecting an entire demographic, really, by sharing only really main things. And so I'm going to try to be better. And the start of that is going to be covering a Zulu folktale. I will be sure to cover a lot more diverse types of mythology and stories and history in the future. I really don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. It's very stupid of me, in fact, to not have done this from the start of YouTube. So yeah, I am going to start this off with the Zulu folktale Honeyguide's Revenge. I do not know how to pronounce Zulu names or Zulu anything. Sorry if anyone who knows Zulu is going to cringe while watching me try really hard to say these things. So, yes. Let's get into it. So, there's this really greedy dude, and he's named, like, Jijal. And one day, while he's hunting, because he's a hunter, it's a tribe, people gather their own food, their own materials, and so someone has to hunt, gather food, you know, the usual. He hears the call of Neda, the honey guide. And Neda is a bird that helps people find honey in return for just a portion of that. In return for the wax that comes from it. And I've seen on like a couple sources a little bit of the honey. Do not know if that's universal. And so Jijal finds Neda and he follows him because, you know, honey's sweet. It tastes good, yummy. Who wouldn't want a little bit of honey? And so he follows Neda to a tree. And so he figures this has to be where the honey is. I was led here by the motherfucking honey guide. It's gotta be where the honey is. And so Jijal lights a fire and he burns the end of a stick on it so he can smoke out the bees. So he holds the stick in his mouth and he climbs the tree up and up and up and up and up and up until he reaches the hive. And so he smokes out all the bees. No more bees. Well, most of the bees. There's still gonna be a couple bees. He collects the honey after smoking most of the bees out. He gets stung a couple times, but like, that's a given. You expect that. And so he's really excited he got the honey. He takes all of the honey. He takes the entire hive, really, and doesn't give Neda anything. None of the wax, nothing for the payment of leading him to this honey. Jijal says that Neda doesn't deserve any honey because he did all the hard work. He climbed the tree, he lit the fire, he got stung a couple times, neglecting the fact that Neda led him to this tree, and without Neda, he wouldn't have any honey. He completely ignores that. because he's greedy. He wants all that he can get. So weeks later, possibly months, weeks translate to months sometimes. Weeks later, Neda calls Ginjal over again. Ginjal is so excited. This soon, and I'm getting more honey? Yes! Hell yes! And so Ginjal follows Neda to a tree. So he's like, hell yeah, more honey. So he does the same thing he did before. He lights a fire, he gets a stick and burns it so it smokes. And he puts that stick in his mouth, and he climbs up the tree again. And he thinks, wow, the dust must be pretty high. I don't hear any buzzing. But you know what? I'm gonna trust the Honeyguide because it helped me get honey last time. It helped the other hunters get honey before. So I'm gonna trust the Honeyguide, and I'm gonna keep on climbing until I find this hive. And so he keeps on climbing until there's like kind of a divot in the trees. You know how like branches kind of go off of a tree? That. He finds one of those, and so he looks just to check, maybe he's not hearing the bees. So he checks, and instead of a bee's nest, there's a fucking leopard. Yeah. He freaks out. He screams incredibly loud because he saw a leopard. That thing could kill him. So he's scared as fuck. He screams, and he wakes up the leopard, and the leopard's like, oh shit, you're invading my personal space, bud. And he takes a swipe at Ginjal. I almost mixed up the names. He takes a swipe at Ginjal and kind of scrapes him on the face. So Ginjal's freaking out. He hops down the tree, and he breaks his leg. He gets horrible injuries in his leg, and so he has to hobble over back to his home, and Neda is satisfied. He knows that Ginjal has learned his lesson, and he doesn't bother him ever again, but he also doesn't guide him to honey ever again. So that's the story of the Revenge of the Honeyguide. Zulu folktale. What's your favorite part? My favorite part was when he broke his legs. Like, it was great. So this myth is a story of greed. How you have to give others credit for the credit that they give you. Did I accidentally make a Hamilton reference? It has been since 2016 since I actively listened to that musical, and it's still in my headspace. So, it's about, this myth is about the importance of sharing, the importance of helping others out, and how your work should not go uncredited. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a great message to give little kids. So, thank you. I really hope you have a lovely day. You deserve it.